Welcome to our lecture online. Now let's take a look at what happens to the sunlight that reaches the Earth. We are about 93 million miles, about 150 million kilometers away from the sun. That is the provider of all the energy we need on the Earth. And by the time that sunlight reaches the Earth, it provides an intensity of 1,361 watts per square meter, which is just right for what we need. Now, what happens to that? Well, first of all, before we think about what actually happens to all that energy, let's see what that energy is actually made out of, because we do call it sunlight, but it's not just light. A part of the energy that we get from the sun is in the UV ray radiation band. We get sometimes a small amount of X-rays during eruptions on the surface of the sun, but primarily the steady state energy we get from the sun consists of UV radiation, visible light, and infrared radiation, so across those three bands of energy. Notice that a big portion of it does come towards the Earth in visible light, but a significant amount of energy comes in UV and also in infrared radiation. Now, when it reaches us, three things happen. First of all, 29% of it, almost a third, is reflected back into space, never actually reaches the surface of the Earth, never really gets absorbed by the atmosphere. It simply is reflected primarily by the clouds, by the surface, and by the upper atmosphere. So the clouds, they're very reflective. So sunlight reaches the clouds. Some of it goes through the clouds, some of it is absorbed, but a lot of it is reflected back into space. On the surface, sometimes we have snow and ice on the ground, which is a very reflective material. Sometimes some of the material on the surface also reflects sunlight. So most of it is absorbed, but some of it is reflected back into space, primarily when it comes to snow and ice. And finally, the upper atmosphere, light is scattered at the upper atmosphere, and some of that scattering is back into space, so it never actually gets absorbed by the atmosphere. So we have some scattering effect, some reflection by the clouds, and some reflection by some of the features on the surface, primarily ice and snow. 29%, which is almost one-third of all the energy, simply goes back into space. The rest of it is either absorbed by the atmosphere or makes it all the way down to the surface. Of the portion that makes it to the surface, a part of it is radiated back to space and doesn't get absorbed by the atmosphere. It simply gets radiated back into space, and that accounts for 12% of all the energy that we get from the sun. So 29% is reflected, 12% is radiated back to space and not absorbed by the atmosphere. When you add that together, that is 41% of the energy we get from the sun is either reflected back into space or it reaches the Earth's surface and is radiated right back into space without being absorbed by the atmosphere. 59%, which is the remainder, is actually absorbed by the atmosphere through various mechanisms, and we'll go through a lot of detail of how that exactly works. But essentially, there's two ways in which it can happen. On the way in, some of the radiation, some of the energy is absorbed on the way in by the atmosphere. The rest reaches the surface, and then it goes back in the atmosphere either through infrared radiation, through convection currents, or through evaporation of the Earth's oceans. So somehow it gets into the atmosphere either through on its way in from the radiation from the sun to the surface, or from the surface back to space, but it never reaches there, it gets absorbed, or through convection currents, or through evaporation. A total of 59% of all the energy we receive from the sun eventually gets absorbed in some fashion by the atmosphere. Now, the atmosphere keeps that radiation, or keeps that energy, but eventually will radiate it back to space, because there's always an equilibrium point in thermodynamics where at some temperature, the amount of heat going into the atmosphere equals the amount of heat being radiated to space. So with spacecraft, we've been able to measure the radiation come from the atmosphere, which indeed accounts for 59% of the total energy radiated or reaching us from the sun. And that means that the atmosphere absorbed that 59% and then re-radiates it. And that happens at a particular temperature, and for the Earth it happens to be about 15 degrees centigrade, which is absolutely perfect for the Earth's climate. So we can see that, yes indeed, the Earth is at a nice comfortable temperature because of where the equilibrium point happens, at what temperature does the amount of heat absorbed equal the amount of heat radiated. If that goes out of balance and we begin to absorb more energy before we reach a new equilibrium temperature, that could happen at a higher temperature or at a lower temperature depending upon what happens in the atmosphere. And we'll go into some more detail about that as well. So at least now we realize in basic terms what happens to the sunlight when it reaches the Earth. Some of it is reflected, some of it is radiated back into space unhindered by the atmosphere, and some of it, 59% of it, is actually absorbed by the atmosphere and then eventually returned back to space after it's warmed up the Earth to a certain temperature, that certain equilibrium temperature, which for now is about 15 degrees centigrade.